Lars, how is he different from other directors? Because he's strong?
No.
No?
He is, but I mean, he doesn't
No, but he's not
show
different
that
from others.
much.
Yep.
I think all the directors are different. It's that he seems to be very much like someone who is trying to find other way, you know, to film films.
Yeah.
And always to be closer to the characters and the people, you know. And I think that's very interesting, you know. What interests him in films, it's not, you know, where it's taking place, it's not the visual, but he's trying to find other ways, you know, to be closer to the faces and the emotion of a person, you know, in a film, and still to find a way, you know, a little more, less classic than usual. And I think that's why he's very attracted to the video. That's why he started to work in video.
In video. Did he succeed in this film?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think the video is a very interesting technical progression, you know, of filming in a way, but it's very dangerous also for people to work with video, because you can do anything, you know. You just really can do anything. And anything can become nothing, because there are so many possibilities, you know. Nothing, you can shoot all the time, 1 hour, 2 hours, you can come close, you can go back. I mean, it's incredible. But the problem is then you have an incredible material, and then you have to make something out of it. So it's going to give the possibility to a lot of people, you know, to be able to make a film with much less money, which is very interesting. At the same time, it will take time, I think, to have a generation of directors knowing really how to use video and make the best out of it for the film, the audience, and the actors, and the story.
Why aren't there more women directors?
There are more than before, much more than before. Because I think men are still very reluctant, you know, to have women in big positions, but not only in films, you know, in life.
In life.
I mean,
yes.
in life, in positions, you know, of taking decisions and all that. But there are more women directors than before.
You've never wanted to do it?
What?
Direct?
No.
Never?
No, I don't think so, no.
Because you enjoy acting that so much that
Because I like acting. I like I suppose also because I'm very fulfilled, you know, with the project I have written by different persons, and I don't feel that I don't carry a project, you know, that I really would like to put on screen that nobody has ever given me on films. And I'm not sure I could. I'm sure I could direct, you know, in the sense of technically I know I could, you know,
sure,
would know certain things because I've done so many films. But I don't think that's enough, frankly, and I'm not sure I could take all the decisions you have to take all the time, you know, on a set, you know. And actually, I was even watching Lars von Trier, you know, on the film. It was a very big film. It's probably the biggest, you know, budget they had, you know, for a film. This one, we were in Denmark, and we were in the studios. He was surrounded, you know, with people that really, he was not working with the studio trying to get things their way, you know. And sometimes I could see, you know, because sometimes I had dinner with him, and that it's very tiring, you know, to have to make decisions all the time and to be sure you're making the good decisions, because you have to decide things every 5 minutes, you know.
Yes.
There is very little time to work.
You spend half of your time saying yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes,
yes,
no.
Not only yes, no, but you have to take decision and ask for more, and nobody's going to tell you what you have to do, you know. You have to be in charge of everybody for a long period of time.
Well, see, I think part of what attracts people to directing is just that, though. The
Maybe.
idea of being in charge and the idea of wanting to see their vision translated to...
But a lot of people want that, but I'm not sure a lot of people can do it, you know. Means to really be able to handle that for a long time. Because that's not enough to do that, you know, maybe for a week or 2 or 3. But in the process of writing, producing, or at least directing and editing, and then the release of the film, that takes a year almost for a director.
Who's gotten the best performance out of you? What director?
That it's, I don't know.
Well, what do you think? What did you feel where someone is taking me to a place, you know?
I felt very often in a film like that with a French director called André Téchiné, with who I did 3 films. And I'm going to do actually a film with him next year. Very often I felt something very strong, you know, working with him on films where he had written, you know, also the parts, you know, because he writes for actors, you know, when he writes the script himself. So I would say André Téchiné and probably François Truffaut as well.
Yeah. That was a...
What?
You fell in love with him.
With who?
Truffaut. You did.
That's a very strange question.
No, it's not a question. It's just an observation because...
no, but I would have understood if you had said the other way around. Because
that he fell in love with you.
No, it's not that. It's that it's known, you know, and written by Truffaut himself that
I know.
He's always been falling in love with actresses in his films because Truffaut was living only for films. And actually the book he wrote was called The Books of My Life, and it was more about acting and films, of course, but falling in love, you know, with actresses in films. And he fell in love almost with all the actresses he's been working with. So I thought it was in that way you could have said that, you know.
Your point's well taken. What does it take to get the best performance? I mean, what does a director do? I mean, Toushin, you said, wrote his own scripts, and so therefore it gave him a connection to the work.
I think for the performance of an actress, you know, it depends really on the actresses. Some actresses needs to be shaken, you know, like for example, it's known that Brigitte Bardot, you know, was very well directed by Clouseau because he really took her, he shook her, he even slapped her, you know. She needed to be pushed that much, that way, and very far. And some actresses need to be reassured, and some actresses need to be, you know, just loved. It depends on me personally, I know that I feel to be close to the director, you know, to what he feels and what he tries to get from me. I have to feel confident, you know. So I can let really myself go, and I know that if it goes wrong, he will stop me, you know.
Confident in the fact, in his judgment, or
in his judgment.
In his judgment, not that he gives you confidence in yourself.
Well, it's important too because, you know, some actors, you know, need time, you know, to get to a point, and some actors give everything, and then you have to get them back. I need to be pushed, you know, so I need to be, I need to work with a director who give me some kind of confidence, but I need to be
pushed.
Yes, I need to be pushed a little, but I need to work with someone that I really can trust very much, professionally.
And this was true with Lars?
Yes. I knew that he knew what he was doing, and that if things were, you know, too weird, he wouldn't use them, too weird in the sense that it was too fussy, you know, with the camera moving or too close or too... I knew that he was really very much in charge of the film, and he had a vision, you know, of what he wanted to do.
It is amazingly, it's a very important quality if you're in front of a camera, television, film, still, that you know and have confidence that the person who's making the decisions is looking out for you, understands you, and is looking out for you. As you say, if it's too close, has the skill and the confidence and the judgment. Mm-hmm. Yes?
It's very important, yes. I really have to know there is one person in charge, and this person is really, you know, in control of everything, and if anything goes wrong, like, you know, like I suppose in the circus for an acrobat, you know, I need to know the director is there for the net, you know, in case something happens. I suppose also that's why I cannot go on stage, you know. It's the impression that I will be completely let alone, you know. I need the director, you know, presence, you know, and look to be able to give my best.
Okay, now I love this vulnerability about you. You don't go on...
All actors have that, I think.
Vulnerability.
They don't show it sometimes, you know. They don't want to show it, especially actors, but I think it's part of the work, you know. Because vulnerability means possibility to be open and to let things go, you know, and to be not... Because if you are not vulnerable, you give and say and are always repeating more or less the same performance, you know. You have to be open, so if you are open, you are vulnerable.
Yeah, and if you want to grow, you have to be vulnerable too.
Yes, probably.
You don't agree with that?
I never thought about it, but
yeah,
you
but I mean, you have
right?
to be, and it seems to me that if you want to grow, you have to be vulnerable because you have to be willing to be open, open and willing to experiment and willing to,
yes,
you know, stretch.
Yeah.
If you're always scared, you can be defensive.
You know, yeah, well, I think for a long time, you know, I was doing things because I was scared, and I wanted to prove myself that, you know, I could, you know, I could do things, and still sometimes it happens to me that I accept some things knowing that it's going to be difficult, but I want to sort of know I'm fighting against, you know, the fact I'm scared, you know, to do certain things. And that's something I had when I was quite young, you know. Still sometimes it happens that I have to do that to prove myself that I can do it, you know. There are small challenges, but to me they are important, you know.
Have you been courageous in your life generally?
physically?
Well, physically or just...
Physically, I'm not at all, because that doesn't interest me, you know, to do performances, physical, or I refuse.
You mean
to
like
do
skiing and things like that? You have no sense.
Yeah, but even in films, you know, if there are dangerous things to do, I always say, take someone else and dub me. I have no pretension to be the best, you know, to do. I don't see the reason. I prefer to keep my my ability, you know, for things where I cannot be dubbed. You know, I have no. And then courageous. That's what you said, courageous,
yeah,
no?
Courageous.
Well, I think I have, yes. I know I can face certain things, but I was never in my life, I think, pushed to. I haven't known very, very bad, you know, circumstances where I had to prove that I was brave. I've never known the war, you know, and that's something that sometimes I say, but what would have I done in France, you know, being in France during the war if I was an adolescent or
Would you
an
be part of the
adult?
resistance or that kind of thing?
Yeah, that's the kind of thing you think when you are, you know, for someone who has never known, you know, the war. Otherwise, I try to be as brave as I can, you know, in life, yes, to face things and not to avoid things. I try that, yes. Yeah. I think I'm
so
quite
like,
brave.
for a lot of men who've never been in combat, it's they talk about that a lot. There's some sense of you don't know. Nobody knows until they have faced it. Yeah.
You have a lot of occasion in life, you know, to prove to yourself and to people and people you like that you can face things, you know, even if they are disagreeable or painful, or because that's what it is for me to be brave, you know, it's to have to face things that can be uncomfortable for you and sometimes also to other people, but to do or say things.
You've always seemed strong to me. I mean, do you feel that way?
No.
You don't?
No. No.
Really? You feel vulnerable or somewhat?
I feel strong because I think I can say things strongly, but things I believe in, you know, so I speak strongly. But I wouldn't say I'm a strong person. I don't think I'm a weak person, but I'm vulnerable and I can be influenced also by people or by situations. So I wouldn't say, you know, I'm a very strong, but I'm not weak either, no.
No, I don't think so either.
No.
Let's take another look at this. This is when Selma's almost completely blind, and you tell her that she is not going to rescue her anymore. Here it is.
Two boxes? Did you decide you are going to do two boxes at the same time now?
Yeah.
Selma, 10 o'clock then?
Yeah, 10 o'clock.
What happens at 10 o'clock?
I'm going to do the night shift.
The night shift? You can hardly see well enough to do your own shift.
Suits me fine. It's just after drama class.
You are going to do that too? I've had my fill of you, Selma. You do what you want. Go ahead. Break your neck. You do your night shift. But don't think for 1 second I'm going to come and rescue you.
Catherine Deneuve, Dancer in the Dark. Congratulations. This looks interesting to me. I haven't seen the film. It looks very interesting. You feel good about it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel good. I feel strong about it, what I feel, you know, and what I think about the film, which is my personal opinion.
It's great to see you as always.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.
Catherine Deneuve, we'll be right back. Stay with us.